Welcome back to a brand new episode of Building EVP. My name is Willie, and as you can see behind me, I'm right in front of our storage container at our home base on the property. But you'll also notice there's an RV to the left of me and two more around here, plus some yellow tape that we'll talk about later. We're gonna start the day with a little RV tour, get into a little surprise that has to do with that yellow tape that you saw, and then play with some huge RC cars. But let's start with the RV. Let's go. And so this is the first RV, and we are going to start back here in the bedroom. So you can see we just got this, so it's not all made up yet, but we have a big bed here, a pretty big bedroom, a huge closet, and a secondary closet right here with some sleeping stuff in there, windows and stuff, little TV. Through here we have a nice bathroom and a shower, pretty RV style. And then we have the main area in here. So you have the kitchen, which is pretty huge. We have cabinets, drawers, munchies and snackies, all the good stuff, all the good things. Obviously the fridge is fully stocked with adult beverages and normal beverages because obviously it's important to stay hydrated. 3-burner stove with an oven, a ton of cabinet and drawer space, sink. We have a nice sitting area over there, and then we have a nice little entertainment area over here. Seats 5, 6 comfortably with the TV, even a little fireplace. And let's do some mood lighting, and we can talk about some other stuff. So let's talk about why we moved all of HQ up here from where it was. That's so boring. Why don't you show them some wildlife first, or at least explain why we have 3 RVs? I guess so. I honestly don't even know why we have 3 RVs. No, don't worry about it. I'll explain that. It's really easy. It's because, well, there's 3 of us. Come on, I'll give you the tour. So the real reason for this RV is going to be turned into an editing bay for video and for meetings and all kinds of things like that, because we didn't have a meeting space on property. So that is the purpose of this RV. And if you can see it, we got it for a steal because it had some damage. So that's what's getting worked on today, and we'll get all fixed. And one reason why the bedroom looked a little bit rough. The shipping container that you recognize from the previous episodes is now moved up here, along with all the toys. Let's head to these two. Okay, so this was originally John's RV, and was the first living space we really had on the property. In fact, I actually lived here for a couple weeks when I first got out here. Let's go take a look. So currently, James is living in here.
I didn't know I was having visitors. I have to clean up, okay? You gotta just ignore the trash, guys.
So as you can see, very similar kind of living space area here, bedroom in the back, bathroom. And dude, why does it smell a little weird in here? As you can see, that RV behind me is a little bit smaller is in terms of living space as the first one we went in, and as this one, which is the newest addition to the family. This one doesn't have any damage to it. It has all these awnings and pop-out things, but let's look inside. Obviously, that's the coolest part. Whew. So, kitchen area right here. Kitchen has its own TV, dining area. We have a half bathroom right here. Nice. Up through here we have a huge bedroom, closet, TV, full bathroom. I mean, look at that shower. What? And then as we go back down, check this out. We have this whole living space right here with a huge TV, a fireplace, 3 couches, all kinds of room. So this will be used as another temporary living space on the property for now, and also for meetings and everything. And now that we've moved all the RVs over here, we almost have our own like little camp, which is kind of cool. Oh yeah, that yellow tape, let's talk about that. If you remember, that is where the storage container used to be. and it's moved, and instead we have this yellow tape up, and that's because we're doing these archaeological surveys on the property and have found some really cool sites. This property was full of miners and people mining gold here, so there's miners camps all over. There's some prehistoric sites like the one behind me. With that being said, let's go find John, maybe the archaeologist on site, and show you some more of these really cool sites that we found.
Willie!
Yo!
Maybe jump in! Jump in!
I was just telling them about the archaeological sites. You're gonna show us?
They're over there, let's do it!
All right, guys, I'm out here with Mark, who is our resident archaeologist. Is that a good way to say it?
Resident and archaeologist.
Resident and archaeologist. And I was trying to explain what that yellow tape was back on the other side, but I think it's much better for you to explain what's going on here and what you guys have been finding and why we're marking off some of those zones.
Okay, great. What we have here is on our preliminary survey, we located some house pits over here, which are fairly subtle because they're very shallow. And so to suss out what the site looked like, then we do a survey in smaller transects to where we can identify flakes of stone that they've been using, and then particularly obsidians or basalts and that kind of thing, and to see if they've actually struck on it. So what we do is that we flag it out. We've already pulled the flags on this site. So what happens is that when we figure out what the boundaries are, then we can go ahead and we'll take a GPS on the whole thing, and then we're just sort of blocking off access to this site. It's actually several areas that are in here, so we call those loci. And so this would be the habitation site. We found 6 of the house pits.
When you say habitation, is that miners? Is that
Native Americans?
Native Americans, yeah.
And then what would be is they would probably have like a cedar. And I'm not sure what they call them. They're not a teepee, but they look something like that because they lay cedar bark around and then tie it off with a grapevine, and then that's where they would like camp, have a fire in the middle and stay warm that way. And then there's also a possible roundhouse here, which is a ceremonial hall where everybody would come in and then they would do their ceremonies and that sort of thing.
And what Native American tribes were out here?
These are Southern Sierra Miwok.
Okay.
And then there's also an older group of people that were in here that isn't really have a name at this point in time. There's some speculations of where it is, but I'll get in arguments with my other archaeologists.
Like prehistoric tribes?
Oh, way prehistoric. These would be like paleontological. So cool. The record in the foothills here goes back to 14,000
BC.
40,000 BC. 14,000
BC.
Yeah, that's still pretty good. So now the second thing is that we have a use area that's down that side of the canyon by where the water is.
Yep.
And what we're finding there is midden, and what midden is it's an activity. The soil is changed to a greasier, darker color.
Okay.
And it's because of the activities they've had, the charcoal and the foods they've had and everything that they just sort of lay around, and it just becomes a darker and darker soil. So it's a good way to find that. So once you find the flakes and then you start finding the midden, then you're starting to see an occupation that had time involvement. So that's what they were doing down there, is that probably like on a nice day like this, they'd be down by the water in the shade, I mean, just having a good time. We also have over here a game blind that we located, so that would be our third locus as far as the prehistoric goes, so that we have where they're living, what they're doing, and why they're doing it.
So you're constructing
all in the same place.
Essentially a narrative.
It creates its own
narrative based off of these.
Right, and that's just over time. We see the same thing over and over of how people present themselves to the land and what the land does to the people, because there's an interchange of ideas that goes on.
So we have the prehistoric tribes here, and we also have a lot of mining stuff going on.
There's a lot of mining. There are several phases of mining that happened here in the county. The first was like 1846, and that's not too far down there at Agua Fria,
Okay.
where they had Spanish miners coming in.
Yep.
And so they were the originals that found it. This is one of the originally recognized land grants of the state of California. This was like the first land trail in California was this piece of property.
No way.
And so and it's
That's so cool.
at the time that he went broke, the mining went belly up. From about that time, Mariposa Mining came in and then bought a large portion of this area, and they never really did anything.
Yeah.
So, but you had the earlier miners, and then what you'll see is these stacked rocks up on the side of the rivers, where they just clean it all the way down to the bedrock, and then whatever they had in the bottom, they'd go for it. And he said we had the earlier period of the mining, where the Spanish were here. Then we had sort of a short phase where all the 49ers came in, and roughly there was about 100,000 people in an area at a time. And then they would abandon that area and just move on. So they were just kind of these moving cities that would take it up and hear rumors and then head to the next diggings. Then they sort of all ran out, and it ended up being an industrialized miner. So they would all basically team with companies and then go out and work. And that's why you see all these massive amounts of rock work that are everywhere. Is that it's just large groups of people that were being paid by the mining company to do it.
Thanks.
So, all right, thank you guys.
Thanks.
All right, John, where to next?
Let's go see what Marty's doing up on the dozer.
On the dozer?
On the dozer, let's do it.
Cool.
Giddy up. We got the 18 here, guys. You know Sunny Graham? Sunny Graham Construction?
Yeah.
Glenmo, I just got here.
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you guys.
See you as well. So what we got going on today?
We are brushing this area out, leaving the green and working this corner up. I think right now we're gonna stop going up on the hillside for fire purposes.
Okay.
Go back down lower and work back up.
We're clear of green light over there. So we're gonna come in on that
John, what's next?
lunch.
Lunch.
Lunch. Airport bar.
Are they open at noon? Is that
What's the face today?
Tuesday?
Tuesday. You both on Tuesday.
All right, an exciting day so far at EVP, but we have one more thing left. I'm gonna head back into town, take you guys with me, and we're gonna check out these huge 1/5 scale RC cars that we're trying to figure out how to integrate into EVP and make a really cool experience around it. They're pretty insane. They go like 50, 60 miles per hour, but I'll let John tell you more about that when we get back to town. John. There's John.
Hey!
What's going on?
All good. It's RC car time.
Ooh. Oh my gosh, it looks like an RC car graveyard over here. And these are giant.
It's a dead soldier.
Are you going to tell us all about this?
Yeah, yes, exciting. So first of all, they're 5th scale. We've got the Creighton 8S.
So that means they're literally 1/5 the scale of a normal size car.
You're correct on that one. You are correct, sir. So we've got the Creighton 8S, which is faster, not designed and built for jumping, but crazy fast. It weighs 25
like how
pounds.
fast? How fast are we talking?
I don't know. If I'll say a number and someone's gonna quote me something off the internet where I got it wrong, but way faster than you want to go to destroy it. And next door over here, we got the Traxxas Max. Again, another 5th scale. This one's better for jumping. Not sure they're gonna last more than, I don't know, an hour or so before they disintegrate
so
from the jumps.
when are we gonna test this? Because obviously obviously testing this is very important, and it's a key part of our job.
It's kind of what we do. It's kind of what we do. We come up with silly ideas and we test them. So I'm thinking tomorrow. We'll head out tomorrow. Yeah.
And that's it. I definitely don't recommend you letting your partner jump an RC car over you, but that's a different story. If you're still here after that long episode, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the EVP channel, and we'll see you next week with another episode of Building EVP.